What's up guys, welcome back to my anime art channel. My name is Tawheed Safi and today we're going to be drawing Naruto's eye in Sage mode. The most common mistake that people will make with the eyes is they'll make it too small so you can't fit in all the details. So let me show you how to do it the right size. See? Just the right size. So first we're going to start by defining the bottom of his eye followed by the side of his eye, which is going to go up at a sharper angle. The top of his eye is going to start off flat, but it's going to curve over pretty sharply towards the end. So next, let's draw the pupil. Try to make it as perfect as a circle as you can. We're going to draw it right in the corner of that angle that we created on the top of the eyeball. Notice that the very corner of that circle is going to merge into the top of his eye. After we're done with the pupil, we'll get to work on the corners of his eyes and round them off a little bit. Next, let's start defining the top of his eyelid. In this case, since this is a larger example, I'm going to actually draw two lines and fill it in later on with color. That won't be necessary if you're drawing a smaller eye, because all you really have to do is redefine the line. In the center of the pupil, we'll draw an oval shape, which is going to signify that he is in Sage mode. Before we continue, we'll clean up a little bit and also redefine the lines. Great, now we can get back to work. We'll start by extending the shape of his eye, starting on the top of his eyelid, wrapping around the corner of his eye, and when we go down, it's going to be rounded off towards the bottom. And we're going to reconnect with the bottom of the pupil. Okay, cool. Let's get to work on his eyebrows. So we're going to draw the bottom of his eyebrow and it's going to touch the top of his eyelid. Once we get to about his pupil, we'll stop and draw a line to signify the crease between his eyes. Then we can continue to draw the top of his eyebrow. We'll draw the bottom of his orbital bone, which will continue to the tip of his nose. Over the penning process because it's kind of boring and all I'm doing is drawing over the same lines. So let's go ahead and continue with the coloring. Starting with Y00, we're going to color the inside of his the inside of his pupil and also his eyebrow. Next, once we're done with that, we're going to color with Y08 for also the eyebrow and the pupil. Now, I made a mistake, and when I'm coloring the pupil, I accidentally picked up a different color, which is why it's an orange, okay? But that was by mistake because I happen to have the two markers next to each other. I tried to buffer out that mistake by coloring again with Y00 to lighten it up a little bit, but you're going to see the color is a little bit similar to what we're about to do, which is the, I don't even know what this is. Kind of his frogginess, the little color that's supposed to make his eyes look bigger and scare away enemies, I think. Anyways, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. But just so you know that was a mistake, the pupil should be the same color as the eyebrow. So I'm going to go around the periphery of that shape with an orange color pencil, and that's going to be to help give it a bit more definition. And now we can finally start to color in his eyelid and his pupils with C10. Since I was too cheap to buy the other color sets, this is the darkest color that I have. I don't have black, but this will work just fine. Now I'm going to define and refine the lines around his pupils and his eyelid by going over the edges with a black pen. Even though the drawing for this eye was quite large, I used a number 2 pen for defining the lines because it still required quite a bit of precision to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. Okay, now to help define some of the larger lines, for his nose, his orbital bone, and his eyebrow, I'm going to go over those lines again, but this time with the Sharpie that came in my pen sets. And finally, I'm going to color in that little frog oval that he's got going on in the center of his pupil. And we are going to use C0 to color the shadows within his eyeball. I'm going to follow the pattern left from the shadow with the C0, and we're going to continue that in the pupil itself in just a second. And for that, we're going to use another color pencil. Alright guys, that is a wrap. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be a 5-minute challenge for how to draw Naruto in Sage mode. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.